Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 28th, 2022. And it's past Thanksgiving, it's not yet Christmas, we're not in December yet, but Bitcoin is still at a bottom. Okay, we haven't done anything yet, and that is frustrating. That is really frustrating. But as Young Dasa just said, these times are tough, but we have to keep holding. We are so close to starting this bull run. I completely agree, okay? And this is something that we have to remind ourselves, right? The technicals are really good, okay? We can look at, let's go on the daily time frame. We can look at the technicals and just, have a glance at what we've been doing for the past 200 or so days, 180 to 200 days, and you can see we've been holding a particular level, okay? It's not all doom and gloom. It's not that we've been making lower lows as we had been in, one second, let me finish drawing this, okay? It's not like we've been doing this for the past, where is it? We haven't been doing this for the past 180, 200 days, okay? Like, in technical analysis, we know after we make a drawdown, we have to accumulate, okay? This accumulation is what we expected, right? Maybe we didn't expect the accumulation to make this low or low, okay, fine, but it's still an accumulation, okay? And if you go on other assets, you can see the same thing, except even a little tighter, okay? Some accumulation ranges are slanted downwards, right? Some accumulation ranges are broken, like Solana, for instance, okay? That one's broken, and you can tell that something fundamentally crucial has broken in that project. So be very careful with those projects. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll never come back. It's just something broke, okay? But by and large, what we're seeing in the market is this accumulation, and it's been going on for 180 to 200 days. And of course, there's always going to be people that are, trading these little moves, okay? They're trading these moves, like this move, for instance, right? Trading these moves. I personally choose to accumulate during all of these moves, because according to my high time frame analysis, any buys in this region, meaning any purchase of Bitcoin or altcoins between the prices that occur in these ranges, in these accumulation ranges, will be essentially purchasing the bottom. I like to keep a high time frame view. I think that precludes being too risky. It basically minimizes my risk and maximizes my upside potential, because you won't always get the opportunity to trade a market bottom, okay? You're not always accumulating at the bottom of a bear market, right? Sometimes you're just in the middle of a bull market, or you're at the top, and so you have to, if you want to trade and make money, you have to do different things. Maybe sometimes you have to short, sometimes you have to play the ranges. But I personally think that any buy in this region is a good buy, okay? So people are like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, we had a drawdown on the 11th. We had a little bit of drawdown yesterday. Like, this is nothing, right? As long as these ranges of accumulation are maintained, the overall trade thesis is the same. We're basically waiting for the big move, okay? And nothing here has been a big move. We haven't had a big move. Please be very, very, very aware that we have not had a big move for the past 6 to 8 months, okay? Obviously, there are always some exceptions. There's some early movers. But by and large, everything's been range bound. And so, even looking at this range in Bitcoin, from the top of this range at 25K to the bottom of this range, it's a 37% move. Okay, that's great, I guess. If you leverage that up right? But like that is the extent of the up to down amplitude of this trading range. So I hope you understand, like, nothing's happened, essentially. Nothing has happened, right? And yeah, I think it's all about preparation for the eventual next move. And I think it's highly likely, more likely than not, that the next big move is a move up rather than a move down. Because a move down from here would be, please understand, a move down, breaking this range, you're making not just a little bit of a lower low, you're likely to make a catastrophically lower low. Okay? You're coming to much lower levels, okay, technically speaking, right? Just looking at support levels and stuff. So I think that's less likely than a move to the upside, okay? Everything on the on-chain data, everything in the technical data is pointing to a move up, okay? So that's the high time frame. So yeah, in accordance to statements made by Young Dasa, like, you guys just try to hold on. It's a game of attrition. It's tough. It takes a lot of energy. Takes a lot of patience. But when you do make it, people are gonna say, "Oh, you got lucky." There's no such thing when you're showing up every day and when you're being consistent in accumulating, right? Let's have a quick look at the DXY. So the DXY is not, it's actually not doing anything that we shouldn't expect, or we don't expect it to do. So we thought this was a wave 2, okay? This came down all the way here, and this looks like a smaller degree wave 2, okay? This is what this looks like. This is, wave 2 going into wave 3. Then this is wave 1 of 3. This is a 3-wave move for wave. So let's use degrees. So right here we have this as the parentheticals are the intermediate degrees, I believe. Okay, so let's call this a minor wave 1, okay, and minor wave 2. So I think that what we're printing now is a minor wave 2. And let's just look at the time it's taken for minor wave 1 and minor wave 2 to print, if those are indeed what's happening on the charts for the DXY. Where's my... Let's see. So it's about 2 days, 2.5 days for wave 1 to print. And thus far it's taken quite... Okay. So it's taken us quite much longer for us to print this this minor wave 2. So this tells me that might not be accurate. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Because there is, remember, wave 1 and 2 typically take the same amount of time to print. Let's just think of this for a second. Yeah, no, not at all. Okay, here we go. Let me see something. Let me try one more thing. Trying to make sense of this move in the DXY. By and large, we're doing what we want we expect it to do, right? It's impulsively going downwards and making intra-wave corrections ever so often. Okay, whatever. But, it's just a question now of trying to figure out where in the wave count are you? Like, are you counting this as a minor wave 2 as we stated, or is this something else? What is this? Let's see. I believe that this is the end of that impulse. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough read. Okay. But I like this because this happens more often than, people think. Like, a lot of times, sometimes it's not clear, and it's actually powerful to say, I know that I don't know. I need more information. I think that's heaps better, to borrow from my Aussie friends. It's heaps better to say that rather than to just make shit up, because you do yourself a disservice. And actually, you open the doors for actually figuring out what's going on when you say, I'm not exactly sure what's happening. I don't know. So at this point right here, I don't know what's going on here, but let's say I do know, or I'm confident in the fact that in the DXY, we're impulsively down, and this is some sort of intra-wave correction that should continue, okay? That I'm quite confident about, okay? And if I turn on my momentum indicator, my hourly stochastic RSI is overbought, okay? And my 4-hourly stochastic RSI is also overbought, about to create some bearish divergence. Here, let me zoom that in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you see that? You're in overbought territory, and you're going back up again, but I think you're going back up to create that bearish divergence. Right? Here you have a higher high, and then you're about to make a lower high in the stochastic RSI. So I'm looking at this and thinking, okay, not exactly sure what it is, but it looks to be a bearish continuation. Okay, so what we're going to do with the DXY, what I'm going to do with the DXY is I'm going to reserve judgment. Okay, this is a tentative count that I've had in. Wave 1, wave 2. I should get a wave 3, right? This should be a wave 3, and perhaps, if you count it on the high time frame, this is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Yeah, this, you know what? On the higher time frames, if you count it, you see 3 candles down and 3 candles up, okay? So this could still be wave 1 and 2 of this, right? This is still valid. I think that's better, because going sometimes on the smaller time frames and trying to suss out these wave movements, it's not always the most useful thing that you can do. But on the high time frame, it's clear, right? It took us 3 days to come down, and now we have a movement up in 3 days, and all of this has respected quite clearly the 0618, okay, it's respected the 0618 of this preceding downtrend. So time and price are respected, right, from the higher time frames. So let's just go with that, because it may just be that on the smaller time frames there's some misreading going on. Yeah, I could very well just be misreading on the smaller time frames, because I was reading the end of the wave being here, but maybe it's around here somewhere. Okay, maybe you made one of those concerted wave fives. So, in any case, one of the things I'm confident about in this count is that this is topped out. It's topped out on my momentum indicator, so this is giving me some confidence that it's gonna come down and that crypto is going to go up. Okay, and we've been at this level, this particular level now, for about 16-17 days. Okay, and this is consistent with what's happened in the crypto markets, because for the past 16 to 17 days, we've put in this little consolidation. Okay, so the past 16 and 17 days, this is what happened in crypto. This is what happened in Bitcoin. Okay, and if all indications, whoops, wrong chart. If all indications are it's likely that the DXY is topped out at this level, right? This is not a level that it's looking to make a higher high from or looking to launch from. Then if this is likely to break down, then it's likely that crypto from these levels break up. Okay, and that would give us the beginning of our bull run, which we've been waiting for so patiently. Okay, so that's my analysis. Let's go on a smaller time frame, and we can carry on with our yesterday's analysis. Okay, so let's remove this channel. So yesterday, we were up here. Okay? And we did break down from there. But how did we break down? We broke down just ever so slightly, still respecting the 0.618 of this, okay? At least in Bitcoin. So this is a 3-wave move. This is 5 waves up, 3 waves down. I do expect a continuation of 5 waves up from this, okay? I do expect that. As you can see, you can take a, I don't know, where is it? From here? Yeah. You can take a Fibonacci retracement tool, and you can see that we came down in 3 waves. Two, three. Okay, kind of like what we did here. 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So very similar. But in this case, we put in a zigzag. Sorry. We put in a zigzag. And what's really cool about this, or, indicative of a continuation to the upside, is that the 4-hourly stochastic RSI is completely bottomed out, and it's pretty much been so, creating bullish divergence. Okay, you can see here, this low right here, this low right here, that's bullishly divergent. Okay, on the 4-hourly time frame. That's pretty cool. And you can see that there's a lot of volatility here. Okay, we can go on the hourly time frame just to see what that looks like, and you can see that on the hourly time frame, once you hit this level, you bounced pretty hard. So that may be an indication that, okay, there's a lot of buying pressure over here at the 0.618, the phi ratio. So that is Bitcoin. You still actually have, we were looking at the inverse head and shoulders yesterday. You still have that inverse head and shoulders. Yesterday we drew it like this, but now you would draw it more like this. Okay, you still have an inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish construction. Okay, you're maintaining that market structure, which is important. So yeah, I'm not super concerned or interested in pointing out all the bullish divergences. It is what it is. I'm more concerned about looking at market structure, looking at the idea, the basics. Like I said yesterday, initial break of structure or an A wave, right? This is a wave going in this direction. This is counter to that, okay? So if this is A and this is B, then the next one is C. And that's what we call a zigzag. I think that's still the analysis. The analysis is still that, okay? And what we're going to see as we go down the watch list, some assets broke that 0618, but still it's the same idea. Instead of printing zigzags, they're printing flat corrections, but it's still a 1, it's still a 1, 2, 3 situation, okay? Here, let's go on the hourly just to track this more subtly. Okay, looks really like we're topped out. And I think what's going to happen, we typically see this, when it's finished, it's just going to dump. It's going to be a strong dump. And that's going to translate into a strong move to the upside in Bitcoin. Okay, we're on Polkadot. So same idea, but it looks a little different, okay? Same idea, you came down, you did some consolidation, and instead of putting in a zigzag, you put in a flat correction, okay? This is why I said yesterday, even if we were to, some people would say, oh, their invalidation is breaking the phi ratio. Not really, because there is such a thing as a flat correction. And here, if you take your Fibonacci retracement tool, you see that if this is let's see, if this is our A wave, okay, that would essentially be 3 waves up. All of this would be 3 waves down, tagging the 0786, which is the minimum retracement of a flat correction. Okay, so sometimes you get zigzags, sometimes you get flat corrections, but at the end of the day, it's still a B wave. This is what makes B waves challenging, but it's still, the analysis, I think, is still A, B, pivot, impulse. This is how you go into impulse, okay? And all the while, just like for Bitcoin, if you go on the higher time frame, you've been in this trading range. Now, instead of having a flat trading range like Bitcoin, here, this trading range is slanted or diagonal. Okay? It's diagonal. I would probably draw it like this, okay? But this is consistent, yeah? It's not like you have been making lower lows by definition, right? But what's interesting is that you've held market structure, you've maintained this channel. And this channel is actually quite bullish because anything that falls typically reacts quite bullishly, right? A falling wedge, a falling channel, right? When they do go bullish again, they react quite violently to the upside. So yeah, the larger analysis for this is still the same. You're looking for that large move to the upside. Maybe some people are trading the short time frames, but this is a mess, right? Trading channels, let's say you got in and started shorting here. Where are your stops? Where are your stops going to be? Because you're going up and down and up and down and up and down. Even though you're slanted down, you're kind of, if your stops aren't up here somewhere, your trading range is, your stops are within your trading range. So it's a minefield. Hard to trade on the small time frames. I think the best bet, just like we said with Bitcoin, is to accumulate anything here. Any Polkadot purchase between $12 and $5 is a steal. This is the low of the bear market, in my estimation. I know it doesn't seem like that right now, but, high time frame analysis, that's what it is. Okay, let's move on. Cardano, much like Polkadot, it's a slanted trading range. I mean, it's actually started to slant a little more, right? Because it started out, and this is interesting, and I don't know why this is, but it started out pretty straight. Right? You can see that for the first, 100 or so days, 120 days of this consolidation reversal, it was straight. And then what happened was it broke down. It started breaking down from this channel. Now, it hasn't completely broken down from the channel. We know that because if you take this as your initial break of structure, all of this, A, B, C, is your B wave, okay? And your B wave is, for it to break down completely, for it to invalidate this as an A wave, this B wave has to come beyond the 1618 to 161.8% of this, and that hasn't happened yet. So this is still a legitimate consolidation channel. All of this can be considered to be the same consolidation channel, even though it's not perfectly straight. And this is, I think, one of the challenges of actually practicing these trading concepts rather than just reading about them in books, because in books they don't look as neat. In books they look neat, but in real life they don't always look as neat. Even Polkadot, it's like a steady decline. It's a steady falling channel, but as we just said with Cardano, it's like a break. All of a sudden, after going straight, consolidating, for 144 days, it broke the channel to the downside. And I actually did lose a position because of that. But if I was smarter, I would have hid all of because my trading thesis was not violated, but I still lost because I was reckless. But had I been more prudent, I would have hit all of my stops and liquidation points beyond the 1618. Do you see? But see, all of this right now, this B wave came in. That's the first degree of AB basing, and then apparently this is likely the second degree of AB basing right here, as a small a, small b. Okay, and then this is another pivot before, hopefully, likely, a big move up. But that's what the charts are showing, right? Nothing's really changed. I know people are really discouraged because this is it's discouraging. You wait 200 days, nothing's really happening. It's nothing but down, even though it's not massively down. It's not what you experienced before May. It's not that kind of drawdown. It's a slow bleed. Okay, and people think it's going to go even more. But it's fine. It's fine. Structurally, it's okay. Okay? So just zooming in really quickly to what we've experienced in the recent days since the 8th. Okay, let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. So this is likely going to be the move that takes us up and out of all of it. And again, it's a microcosm of what you can see on the larger time frame. 2 degrees of AB basing. Okay? And here, unlike what you see in Bitcoin, it's a flat and not a zigzag. This should be it. Okay? Let's look into that even closer. So yeah, we were hanging out here yesterday, and we broke this down, but that didn't break the trading thesis. It didn't invalidate anything, because instead of a zigzag, now you have a flat correction. Okay, and we all know flat corrections retrace to a minimum. The B wave retraces to a minimum of 786, and you touch the 786 right there, and that's what you got. Now you started your move up and out of this consolidation reversal, small time frame consolidation reversal. Okay, so on a small time frame, it's very promising, because you did get that bounce at the 786. Okay, and it looks as if the volatility in this region is proving to build a base for continuation to the upside. Okay, so again, on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see we're completely oversold. Hourly time frames overbought, but it can stay overbought on the smaller time frames. Remember, if you are in a bullish mode or an impulsive mode, either bullish or bearish, right? It can stay overbought or oversold. Have a quick peek in the DXY. Okay, it's starting to break down, just ever so slightly. Starting. Okay, let's go back. So that's what we see. A lot of these assets did the same thing, so I'm not going to go into the high time frame. Let's just stick on the small time frame analysis. As you can see here, what happened yesterday in this asset, which is showing quite bullish reserve rights, like Bitcoin, it printed a zigzag. Okay, this 3-wave move touched the 0.5 to 618 region of this wave up, and now this consolidation reversal is kind of hanging out here, right? Came up and down, looking like it's going to break to the upside. Okay, this is not bearish at all. Let's see if we can't see just how bullish this is. Okay, let's go on the higher time frames. Okay, I don't see anything too conspicuously bullish with the momentum indicators. On the daily, the 4-hourly, neither. Hourly, a bit of bullish divergence, but nothing kind of like that jumps out at you. It's a bit of bullish divergence right there, but that's it. But I do like this for continuation. I mean, it's quite bullish. Dodo, another one that put in a zigzag, right? 5 waves up, 3 waves down. It maintained that 0.5 to 618 retracement level, and now it's consolidating right above it for a likely continuation to the upside. Ethereum, another zigzag. Okay, Bitcoin wasn't the only one to put in a zigzag. ETH put in that retracement. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So, question, I think, let's see. I believe this is the top of the wave right here. And so this 3-wave retracement just touched the 0.5. Okay. And now it's consolidating for continued move up. Like, that breakdown yesterday wasn't as massive as people will have you believe. I know people are frustrated, so everything's that much more accentuated, but by and large, for the past 200 days, you have not put any impulsive move either up or down. Okay? It's been consolidative. So people calling for like 10,000, I don't know if they understand. You would literally be creating a new impulse. You're not doing what you've been doing. You'd be breaking and make fresh new lows, and actually you would have to take a considerable amount of time for the market to purchase all of those assets at those new lows for a consolidation reversal, you know? So there's no way it's all said and done in a number of weeks if we make fresh new lows, like, you know, with a new impulse. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Here again, another zigzag for Zilliqa. And actually, I woke up early in the morning and I bought a new position. It wasn't Zill, but I got I made a new. Oh, actually, this is not a zigzag. I don't think. This looks like it is. Yeah. Right here. This looks like it is a flat correction, right? So I think this is a three-wave move, touching the 786. It's just interesting. You know, these flat corrections are looking bullish because right when you touch the 786, you start your consolidation to reverse. Okay? Again, the read, I think, just to keep it nice and simple, is A, B, C in 5 waves. 3 waves in A, 3 waves in B, and then C will take you up and out. But yeah, I made a new Bitcoin position, highly leveraged position. And I did that because I looked and saw, okay, it's likely going to be a zigzag. So I can hide my stops and liquidations behind that level. So you see what I mean? I took this as a 5 waves up, 3 waves down situation. Where if this is indeed an accurate read, and this is 5 waves up, 3 waves down, whatever happens here, we're going to respect the 0618. So I'm hiding my stops back here. So I thought that was a pretty good read. Took a high leveraged trade long for a continued move, which I'm probably not going to close. If this happens, I'm probably not going to close it for months. But it's not a crazy big trade. It's just a little bit of capital, highly leveraged. We didn't do Doge. Okay, so Dogecoin, Litecoin, both assets that we discussed breaking above these trading ranges, stayed above the trading ranges, right? They went up, and they came back down. They're consolidating above the trading range. That's a really good sign for continuation to the upside. Just like I said yesterday, I don't really know what you're in right here. Okay, it could be an ending diagonal of some sort, because like what's interesting about this is you've breached the 0618 here. So it's one of two things. Either this is an ending diagonal, right? Wave 5 ending diagonal, where sometimes you can breach the 0618 in impulse, or this is the beginning of a wave 2 correction that does something like that. Okay, for Dogecoin. So I would not be surprised if the latter were true. So just be mindful of that. If you're trading Dogecoin, don't be too reckless in your trades. Just be mindful of the fact that this is possible, that this may be your wave A targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, come back for wave B, and then wave C finally to complete it. And if that is true, another thing we can say is this. If that's true, then you should expect all this consolidation to take around the same time it took to go up, right? It took 5 days and 2 hours to go up. All in all, it should take around the same time to come down. So you should expect by the 2nd of December for us to, well, in the immediate short term, we're going to go up for this B wave, if this is true. Okay, if this is true. And then come back down by Friday to complete wave 2, if this is a wave 1. Okay? And that seems like a plausible read. Litecoin. Is the same thing happening in Litecoin as it is happening in Dogecoin? I don't know. I don't think so. And I'll say this. One of the reasons I don't think so is just because if you take the time it's taken for Litecoin to go up to that level, it was about 8 days, 6 hours. Thus far, whatever this has been has taken already 5 days, almost 6 days, okay? I think it's unlikely that, you know, you do whatever you need to do. Let's see. I'm thinking. Okay, there's a way that this could be the same thing. If this is a zigzag, it goes, and this is possible. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's possible. That's very possible. So basically, you're looking to go down a little more in Litecoin for the next 2 days, which would complete this wave 2, if this was indeed a wave 1, wave 2 situation. Okay, that's possible. It's also possible that this is an intra-wave correction, some sort of wave 4 correction, and that you still go up from here before all that happens. But, you know, we're not exactly sure. And also be mindful that the market, although it is, everything's kind of moving together, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be exactly on the same schedule. So we all saw Litecoin go up while everything was kind of stagnating. That could mean everything else starts moving while Litecoin is still in this correction. So just be mindful of that. And I think a good trade would be to make sure so many things can be going on here. Another thing is this may very well be wave 1 and wave 2, so you may still be printing wave 3. So you may, you know, that's another case for going up from here instead of correcting down here. You know what I mean? Our momentum indicator says we're done correcting in this wave function, just because we're completely bottomed out on the 4-hourly. See, on the 4-hourly, the daily is crossing over. Yeah, not exactly sure. This is one of those. I don't know. You know, I'll reserve judgment. You know, I'm not like, oh, this is definitely happening. You know, I'm waiting for more information for something like this. Okay. synthetics. This is, I think, a great. Okay, this is the best bullish divergence that we have in the watch list. I think. Okay, you can see it very, very, very clearly. Here, let's pull out the. And this is a textbook bull flag. Okay, so you have a 3-wave move. You have your flag, okay? That was your B wave, so this is your A wave, this is your B wave. And while you're forming your B wave, right, which is likely going to break out into your C wave, right, to the upside, you're forming strong bullish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame. And it's not just like one point. This entire, there's multiple counts of bullish divergence because all of these, this whole structure is bullishly divergent, right? As it's going down, the momentum is going up. And so you can see that actually playing out here on this consolidation where you're getting ready to break that to the upside for continuation of this move right here. I think that's the read. You know, keep it simple. Yeah, of course, the bullish divergence jumps out at you with synthetics, but I think if you keep it simple, just like, you know, most of other assets that we've looked at, it's simple. A wave, B wave, C wave, right? Whether it's a flat correction or a zigzag, that's what we're looking at right now. And that was the read yesterday, and nothing's really changed from that read. Algorand. Okay, this is a great example of a flat correction, which looks like, you know, a nice double bottom. So instead of going and doing a zigzag, you went up in 3 waves, you came down in 3 waves. And that clearly retraced between the 786 and the 914, where flat corrections are wont to stop or land. And so you have your A wave, B wave, you should get your C wave. Okay, so that's what we were expecting. Our 4-hourly momentum indicators completely oversold. So yeah, that's the read. That was the read yesterday. Nothing really changed other than, okay, we were saying there's a possibility that we're forming some sort of zigzag yesterday, right? But then we came down all the way to these levels, which invalidated the zigzag. But it did not invalidate the trade thesis. This is you know, what I'm stressing. Okay, in Binance, the zigzag is clearly still maintained. 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves. You know, A, B, C. This is a, you know, straightforward corrective pattern playing out. XRP, same thing. 5 waves up, 3 waves down. You should get 5 waves up. Okay? And this right here is clearly some sort of pivot on the smaller time frames that you're working up and out of. And again, just like most of the other assets that you see in the market, the 4-hourly stochastic RSI is oversold, which is indicative of a move to the upside coming. So yeah, this was also another one that I woke up and I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, let me add to this position. I added to the position here. I was already in this position, but I added to it because I'm like, this is a great spot to add to my long. It is a marathon, my friends. A marathon. If you've been trading this, like, wow, kudos to you. You've been paying attention. You've been kind of taping your eyes open to this ugly sideways price action for months and months and months, and carefully but very diligently building positions. I mean, this is what wins. This is really what wins. This is how you get the 6, 7, 8 figures, 9-figure accounts. Once the bull run does start, all this preparation, all this hard work, it will pay off. I guarantee it. Like the Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way your account looks. I guarantee it. Oh, man. All right. And yeah, back to Bitcoin. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, we're waiting for this to break out right here. Waiting for this to break out to the upside. This retraced to the 0.5618. The stochastic RSI is oversold. You have some strong bullish divergence here. So I'm waiting for this to break out. And it should break out while the DXY breaks down. And the DXY is currently right on the cusp of breaking down. As you can see, it's at resistance. So let's go on the 4-hourly. So on the 4-hourly time frame, the Bitcoin's completely oversold. The DXY conversely is overbought, and it's at resistance, forming, about to form. It's on the verge of forming bearish divergence. Okay, while you see bullish divergence in the crypto market, you're about to see bearish divergence here. So that's what we're waiting for. That's it. That is the analysis, guys. I hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you've gotten value. And I will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream. All right, take care. Bye.